Restaurant owners in Sun Prairie are spending their Christmas Day serving others, distributing up to 100 free meals to those who might need one this holiday. WMTV 15 News' Shayna Najawan spent the day with the owners today. And Shayna, they're from Ghana, where Christmas is also widely celebrated.
That's right. Nathaniel Sackey and his wife Olivia were cooking from noon to 6 this evening. Their restaurant, Holisac Taste of Africa, just opened this past May, and they wanted to introduce their cuisine to the community, but the Christmas meal has an even more significant meaning. Nathaniel and Olivia Sackey moved to Wisconsin from Ghana just a few years ago, opening their Ghanaian restaurant this past May.
Well, today we're serving jollof rice and chicken and fried plantains. We realize Americans love the plantains.
The food is different, and the couple is over 5,000 miles away from home.
I get sad a lot of times during Christmas being up here.
But there is one tradition that makes the couple feel at home.
We do celebrate Christmas in Ghana, and we have big feasts, and families come together, and people around the community come together and eat and have fun.
The business owners distributing up to 100 free meals. The initiative in honor of Nathaniel's grandparents and their Christmas traditions.
I just pick a specific age that can relate with them. Feel like I'm taking care of my grandma and my grandpa and my dad, you know. My grandma especially used to do a lot, cook food, and people come and eat.
Holisac Taste of Africa offering a free meal and good company.
Somebody will be like, why 25th? You know, because 25th, everybody is trying to build their families. But somebody to don't have a family. Somebody is out there. Somebody to have a family but want to try something different. So we decided to do this on the Christmas day.
And if you missed out on this year's gathering, don't worry. Nathaniel tells me they are already planning their free holiday meal for next year. Live in the studio, Shayna Najawan, WMTV 15 News.